In the world of social media and finance gurus telling you how to make the magical 10K per month, today I want to explore Alex Hormozi. As of right now, let's be honest, he is one of the most famous guys on YouTube that makes videos on pretty much everything in relation to business, sales, and just generally helping you make more money from whatever it is you're currently doing. Now, I'm a curious guy, and whoever I listen to for advice, I always want to find out, how do they make their money? Is it from actual business and doing the thing they're talking about? Or is it just from selling information products in the form of workshops, courses, and books and making money directly from you? So, in today's video, I want to go through the different ways Alex Hormozi makes his money from social media, and we're also going to get a pretty good educated guess on how much he actually makes too. Now, I've got to be honest, not all of this information is public, so it's not going to be like a 100% accurate figure, but I have done quite a bit of research into this, and I think it will still give us a good understanding about whether or not Alex Hormozi is the real deal. Okay, so first up, how much money does he actually make from Google AdSense? Now, for those of you that didn't know, YouTube actually pays its creators money for posting videos on YouTube. And out of all of the social media platforms out there right now, they are by far the most generous ones, hence why creators take them very seriously. Now, how much each person makes will all depend on what kind of audience they will attract. So, for example, if they make prank videos or something silly which companies don't really want to advertise or be associated on, then their CPMs will be a lot lower, usually anything around $1 to $3 for every 1,000 views. Now, for a lot of creators, this can be their main source of income. However, for Alex, this doesn't even scratch the surface, with many other avenues that we will discuss later making him way more than that. And unlike many others, he doesn't make entertainment videos which will get you much lower payouts from YouTube. He makes videos purely focused on educating business owners on how to make more money. And the vast majority of his audience, out of his 2.5 million subscribers, are either people who own a business or want to own one. And this is super valuable for advertisers, given that these guys tend to have quite a bit of money. So unlike the $1 to $3 range CPMs on prank videos, I think Alex is about 15. Now, in the last 30 days, Alex has gotten 31 million views from his content. However, that doesn't mean we just times that number by 15. His views are actually split into two categories. First being his long form videos that usually are way over 10 minutes, and those are the ones that will get you the $15 per 1,000 views. And then the second, we have his short form videos that are much shorter at a max of about 60 seconds each. Now, given these videos are much shorter, they will also make much less money, so it will be around $1 to $2 for every 1,000 views. So now it's time to do a bit of quick math. Out of his 31 million views, it seems like he's got 6.8 million coming from long form and then 24.2 million coming from short form. This means that his long form videos every month make Alex around $105,000, whilst the short form videos, even though there are many more views, only bring in around $21,500. So all in all, we are looking at around 130 grand per month just from Google AdSense. That's over $1.5 million per year just from making videos on YouTube. Not bad, right? Now, that being said, and I don't know how accurate this is, but Alex has said that he spends around $70,000 each month on content production. So more than half of all of that money he made does go away on things like editing, research, distribution, and so on. So, if it's true, his YouTube revenue brings him a profit of about $720,000, give or take, every single year. Next up, we have his stage appearances. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but Alex is very efficient when it comes to making content. He wants to upload as much as possible in the easiest, most straightforward way. So we will sometimes see him shooting videos in his studio, and he will come up with ideas based on what happened that week. Sometimes he'll be running a workshop and just film it so he can later on post it on social media without any extra effort. And then sometimes he will record his presentation or a speech he has done in the event, cut up those clips, and then upload them too. But what I really want to know is how much he actually makes from those speeches. And unlike many other sources of income, this one was actually an easy one to find because he actually puts up his minimum fee and other requirements right on his website. All I had to do is just type in Alex Hormozi speaking request, and there it was. And what I saw was quite interesting. First up, the fact that his minimum fee for a talk is $100,000. So if you can't get 6 figures together, Alex won't be coming. Secondly, you have no choice but to agree that 2 to 3 members of his staff will need to be there, and I'm assuming it's to film an event so they can later on use it for social media. And last but not least, all of his flights and accommodation will also have to be covered by the organizer. Now, I know it's on the website, it says it's around 100,000 bucks, but let's be honest, that is just the minimum. He's one of the most famous people on business related content right now. Therefore, I reckon his average fee is more around the 150k mark. Now, can you imagine getting 150k just to talk for an hour? Alright, now next, let's remember that Alex Hormozi is an author of 2 books. The first one is $100 Million Offers, which was published in July 17th, 2021, and that one has sold over 300,000 copies. And then the second one was $100 Million Leads, which was published in August 19th, 2023, and was the much more successful one, having now sold, according to his website, in excess of 800,000 copies. I mean, the second one was really successful, as it was one of the biggest book launch events ever, with 200,000 viewers watching the event and 500,000 of people watching the replay. I mean, it was so good that the systems were overloaded and it crashed at one point. I was one of those viewers at the time and I thought my internet was down, but it was actually their servers not being able to handle all of the traffic. And when you think about it, for a book launch, that's crazy. Now, given that Alex gets royalties for each and every single sale of about $6.93 sold on Kindle, we can do quick math here. 6.93 times 1.1 million books sold gives him a nice little sum of 7,623,000. Now, this just from sales on Kindle. He also sold on his website, Shopify, and a few other websites. So I would say the money that he has made from just those 2 books is way higher than that. My estimation is around $9 to $10 million as of right now. And who knows, when the third book is launched, it might even be more successful than the Leads one and will bring in Alex another cool $10 million. However, something that is worth noting is that besides the money, being an author of 2 books and that have sold in the hundreds of thousands gives Alex a great credibility boost and really helps his reputation. Yes, a lot of us watching this video consume his content on YouTube, but there are millions of business owners out there who prefer to read instead. So by creating these 2 books in a simple, easy to read format, he is reaching a new audience that a lot of finance gurus just don't do, or can't be bothered to do. Anyways, next up we have his workshop division, which I believe they opened up earlier this year. Now, this is a scaling workshop that takes place in their Las Vegas headquarters, which I happened to attend to back in April. Now, I'm not going to go into detail about what it was like and whether or not you should go, or even if you're allowed to go. I did a separate video for that you can watch later. But what I will say is this, is that little division that they set up is an absolute money printer with insane profit margins. And let me explain. First up, 90% of the event is held by their staff. Each member of their team will come in and do a talk about what they focus on. They will talk about who to hire, how to scale, and so on. And during the workshop, Alex showed up twice for about an hour each day. Layla, on the other hand, showed up only once and was there for about an hour and a half answering questions for the most part. Now, both of them were very good, provided loads of value and really listened to people's questions, as it seemed like they genuinely wanted to help. However, for this privilege of being listened to, each one of us had to pay $5,000. And that's just $5,000 for the ticket. I also had to pay for hotels, flights, and other expenses, which made my trip come close to $10,000. Now, each one of these events they carry out takes place once every single month for a limited number of only 100 people. So let's do quick math. 5,000 bucks times 100 people, and I'm sure it's 100 each time because I just don't see them not selling out each month. This is $500,000 every single month for showing up a grand total of 3.5 hours between the 2 of them. On top of that, given that majority of the event is being held by their staff, who I assume are on payroll in the facility they are already paying for anyway, I am certain they get to push down like 90% of the profit to the bottom line. But wait, there's more. At the end of the event, they will also do a limited 20-seat capacity classroom-based workshop upsell where you will learn and speak directly with Alex. Now, this is for serious entrepreneurs who want Alex to look into their business and help out more on a personal level. And once again, when it was announced at the event, it was for a small initial deposit of just $2,500, with the rest being $17,500 to be paid later. And believe it or not, people jumped in order to get signed up. So all in all, from their small workshop division, they are bringing in around $900,000 each month. Think about it. That's over $10 million a year with around 90% profit margins just from running workshops that they themselves only attend to every few hours. And last but definitely not least, we also have to speak about the insane amount of deal flow that comes into their emails every single day. In the workshop, Alex himself said that they go through between 1,000 to 2,000 proposals each week and only invest in a handful of them each and every single year. And to calculate the return on that is impossible, so I'm not even going to try. However, what I will say is this. Acquisition.com is essentially a private equity firm that will invest into businesses doing between $1 to $10 million each year. That means they are competing against other big players in the market with much larger budgets such as BlackRock, Blackstone, State Street, just to name a few. Now, these guys are many times bigger than Acquisition.com. Alex and Layla's company is like a sardine swimming amongst whales. However, their personal brand that they have built throughout the years still allows them to compete and compete effectively. Because of them being so well known, they may actually get deals to land on their table that BlackRock or Blackstone would never get to see. I mean, think about it. Do you even know who runs those companies I just mentioned? Do you know who represents them? I don't. And this just goes to show how important social media and building a strong personal brand can be for you and your business. Now, with all of that being said, if you want to learn more about how to build your own social media brand with the goal of making as much money as possible, then you have to watch this next video here, where I will talk about how I would do it if I were to get started all over again.